my loves. Hello, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. How are you? The ankle is kind of strange, so I'm gonna readjust it briefly. I hope I'm not burning myself. Here we go. Myself, that sounded real American Southern accent. I can't do that. All right, sweethearts, without further ado, I'm so excited for this reading. It's actually crazy because I'm feeling kind of like the same energies that I did when I started out recording the Lionsgate reading. This is your new moon, or our new moon in Leo, reading, energy forecast and energy check-in basically for the 8th of August that is coming up this weekend. It's also valid for a couple of days after, so if ever you miss when the videos are published, just have a look, and if they still resonate, they still resonate. Then that's fine, and that's exactly when you need to see them at that time, and the message that is in them too, right? If you haven't watched the Lionsgate reading, I'll attach a link down below. And it's so funny because I just posted something on Instagram about a new mantra. Let's figure it out was the mantra. If you want to go check it out, it's at Universal Power Tarot over on Instagram, like I said. And the cards that we pulled are just so fitting. It's incredible because I never know. I get this inspiration and then I just do it, and I'm not double checking it because I'm just like, it'll be fine. Spirit said I should, so I'm doing it. I'm at that stage. But I did a lot of testing in the beginning. Like, I tested everything. I questioned everything that Spirit gave me because I wasn't sure, who are they? Are they really, like, what do they even want, right? So it was an interesting process for sure, but I'm now at the point in my journey where it just happens to be that way. And then the cards come out and I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is crazy, right? Really crazy. I also was gonna advertise my stuff because I just received it and I'm so proud of it. But then the card came out and I was just like, that needs to move to the side. That's like, the message is so much more important. I was going to timestamp it and everything, so you don't even have to watch it if you don't want to. But the card came out and I was just like, that's just beside like everything. This is where it's at. And that was actually one of the messages. Remember what is really important. Not that I don't find my stuff important, but this is very important. This is more important than anything else, than making money off of the channel, or than all the distractions that are going on, which is important of course as well, because I want to keep this going, right? Not to be misunderstood, but this is where it's at. And I'm going to show you the card and trying to keep it together, because like with the Lionsgate reading, it's a lot that is coming through all at once, and these are just the energies. They're just, and the message is just doof, doof, doof. It's like that Schumann resonance amped up. It's like boom, boom, boom. Lauren B from Untitled Tarot, she keeps posting those on Instagram, the Schumann resonance, and with today she wrote something like the violence of the Schumann resonance or something. It's crazy. So Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ, that was it. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. And the other card that came out was indeed the Priestess, and I was like, wow, like Mary Magdalene style here with Jesus. It's incredible. And that one says, how are you being called to step up and lead? And I was like, wow, that's going to be a big reading. So I'm very excited to bring you this. Again, I hope I can do this reading justice. But I can only do what I can do. I can't do more than that. And I'm going to give you the energies of, what are the energies? Those were my questions of this new moon in Leo. Of course, it coincides with the Lionsgate portal activation also, so it's going to be super intense. Energy-wise, with any new moon, we're starting to set intention for something new. But what was interesting, and what I was also getting with was the word bounty, and then I received bountiful heaven, and I was like, wow, what does that mean? Is that a song? Is that, I'm not sure, so it may resonate with some of you. Then I got reaping, harvest, goodwill. Yeah, that was that. And with Leo is, of course, a fire sign, is a fixed sign. Changes can be, with fixed signs in general, we have a bit of a hard time adapting to change. But when we are moving and in the change, we're almost like, okay, now let's do it. It's kind of like that. It may take us a while to start to get into it. We may be pushed a little more or need a bit more push, but then it just starts to roll, because then we're all in it. It's of course the fifth house, and it's ruled by the sun. So the sun, very successful energies, bringing things to the light, and that's the next thing. What I wrote down here is you feel safe in moments when you can impress others and get praise and admiration for it. Yet when you are in the spotlight, you may find yourself at a loss. So maybe admit your fear of criticism and inability, perhaps sometimes, to accept that very criticism, and use the feedback and the triggers that you're getting at that time to get to know yourself better. And that's the thing here, every time you get triggered or something like that comes up, especially when it comes to looking left or right for where your path should go, it's really the anchor is inside. And that's what this is denoting clearly too. And in the realms of self-acceptance, more and more, and this is so interesting to watch myself step more and more into this, I'm accepting myself so much more. And I love myself for that. I have huge respect for myself all of a sudden because of it. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. Like I love myself and respect myself even more, much like with a partner that all of a sudden starts to set boundaries, but healthy ones. And it's just like, wow, like that is profound. And with that, I'm feeling that unconditional love and that Christ light, allowing your light to shine. But it's much deeper than loving yours, because when we're talking about loving yourself, I feel we're sometimes dismissing our shadow side, like that's the unconditional part of it, the shadow, the parts of us that we don't like. And again, I can only recommend the Existential Kink book. I can really, 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 really recommend that by Carolyn Elliott, because that one is so spot on. Like embracing that side, embracing that fear, embracing those insecurities, but not in the sense of I'm going to love you, but I'm going to get off on them. I'm telling you, I've never seen a switch that fast within myself and within enjoying a situation that I previously absolutely detested. And that was all of a sudden like being cool with part of myself, and that was quick. It was so quick, and now I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. I'm back in the playground game, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean I'm switching out of it at times. I can for sure, but I kind of have a feeling I found a way to get back into it. That in combination with the routine that I'm doing, I always know I'm my anchor. Like my anchor is not on the outside. My anchor is me and my shadow and my light and all of that. And the combination is really, the yin and yang is what they're showing me right now. And that's very much what this reading is about too. Remember the Lightworker reading, not the Lightworker, the Lionsgate reading where they did the hand in hand kind of a thing, the shaking between heaven and earth. But it's also like the internal, like like the shadow and the light coming together in unconditional love. And when you accept yourself like that, it's much easier to, first of all, of course, be accepted by others on the outside, but also, and that's just, the cherry on top, because you already love yourself and accept yourself. You don't need anyone from the external to tell you you're wonderful, because ultimately you're not even believing them anyways, which is why you need more and more of the attention of the, and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not pointing fingers, I'm just letting you know. So, but when you really find that inside, that's a different ball game. It'll be the cherries on top from the outside, and it'll pour in because you become that magnet. It's really magnificent. The organs that can be a bit more sensitive at the time is your beautiful heart, your aorta, your blood pressure can be a little bit more sensitive, and blood circulation, which is not surprising because that's what Leo is attributed to. All right, so that's that. I'm so excited for this reading. Oh my God. Oh my God. And another thing I want to say, it's like you put up resistance to something. For example, with me, I didn't want to let go of the sign readings. I did it at that time, and I was so fearful. And so, I was like, no, I can't do a change that big. And then only to realize, man, makes so much more sense to me, my energy levels, and the way these readings are set up for me to bring them to you in such a way. And Spirit, of course, knew all of this all along. I just didn't. But here I am, like fully and completely enjoying and loving this, and there's no pressure in that sense. I have to do a reading. I don't, but I want to. I really want to bring you this reading. That one's going to have an extended, by the way, as most or all moon readings do. Cool. Let me read the cosmic heart to you. Cosmic Christ, cosmic heart. You are elevating your vibration towards the frequency of limitless supply and unconditional love. Exactly. Spiritually, you are reaching for a high level of attainment. Past life and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. Christ consciousness is an expression of divine love that comes straight from the universal heart. It triggers a transmutation and evolution so absolute that we are irrevocably changed. We increasingly become an embodied expression of pure divine will and an unwavering expression of divine love for all who are in need. This process takes lifetimes to complete. As you proceed, you will receive countless blessings to support your journey and fulfill your sole purpose of serving love. There will be tests. These give the spirit a chance to develop mastery. Yeah, man, how I feel and understand that with that card. Wow. There will be tests of forgiveness. It is easier to forgive when you don't harbor resentment at natural limitations, which is like being angry at the sun for not shining at night. Natural laws prevail, so whatever we are speaking of the sun, a child, or ourselves as we grow, compassion allows forgiveness to flow more easily. There will also be tests of power. As you grow, you will become more powerful. You can use that power to help or hinder others, to manipulate them through fear or encourage them with love. Yes. You can nurture yourself on your path, or you can relentlessly criticize yourself for your errors. You can claim your power comes from some superiority you possess, or you can see yourself as a surrendered vehicle, animated in purposeful action through the grace of the divine. We're good. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's quite the incredible energy, and I'm again getting those Atlantean energies. And I don't know if you know, like the Disney movie Atlantis with the crystals. That's the sense that I'm getting, like how powerful these crystals were, and how, because they're enhancing this human being, be it Christ or whomever he signifies. They're enhancing that heart light. It's not, but it's also dependent on the human being that uses it, much like the card we're stating, for what purpose, and where you're at with your vibration. It really depends, because if one person takes a crystal into their hand, it may do something entirely different and be more or less powerful than when another does. There's something in there. And with the priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? The priestess is a teacher, this is important, is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that the leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they might even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the throughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. And the questions you can ask yourself here with this card is, how are you being called to step up and lead? How can you be the leader you wish you had? Oh, interesting question. Yeah, because it's one thing to say, yeah, to do things different. Oh my God, they're connected. Whoa, the pyramid structure again. Oh God, it's one thing, to say you're going to do one thing, or to say I wish things were better, but this is really talking about you stepping in action. You no longer you walk in the talk, basically. No longer, it's not about speculations anymore. This is like real action. Wow. A lot of you may be healers too. I see that, the light in the hands, and sometimes it's so interesting. Oh, so much is coming in. There's Case. He has a channel. I totally forgot his channel's name. He's amazing. I'm going to attach his channel's name down below. He really is. Everyday Masters. That's his. There you go. Let go and it just comes in. Everyday Masters. He is fantastic. He has amazing content. He does reconnecting people, and he recently again talked about the light in the hands, and it doesn't matter if you can't see them. If you can feel it and you just see enough evidence, you just know. I'm getting the angel wings. I was strongly getting Isis with this card, of course. We also have the lions here. So lions get, this is actually a portal. Freaking, I just love when that happens. I love my job. Look at this. So you have the portal right here. You have the two lions, Lionsgate and the Leo new moon, right? And that opens up that Christ consciousness. This is you receiving that light. Do you see that in the hands? And it's just like, oh, it's everything. It's being activated even more. You may have trouble sleeping for that reason also. What I sometimes do is when my hands get too hot during the night, I put them like on the stone wall, both of them, and ask them to be transported to the earth. As in grounding, and just the coolness of the wall sometimes helps. My little boy has those things sometimes too. Like, okay, he hasn't had it in a while now, but I would put cool packs on his hands and on his feet mostly because they were getting so hot at night. And I exactly know what's going on. Somebody else, I don't even need to go see a doctor or anything with that, because I know what's going on, and he's completely fine. It's just like, I know it's the energies that are moving through him. It's so funny because I even told his dad what to do. With that, I told him that's how you can help him. And it's interesting because he doesn't believe in that stuff at all. But he just rolls with it. He knows me by now, and he just rolls with it and just does it. So even if there are disbelievers, it doesn't mean that you have to make them believe, but some things are just very beneficial. So maybe you can wrap them up in something else, or just let them know, hey, I know you don't believe in this. That's fine. I do, though. There's something that might help you, or that might help even another person, which is even more important, because then you completely let go of ego, and you're just like, I don't care if you don't believe in it. It doesn't matter. This is what helps him, okay? So, or this is what's going to help you or somebody else, you know what I mean? And then you step back, because whether they actually do it or not is entirely up to them. There is a message in there as well. Oh my goodness. Lots of feathers. I see so many feathers. Some of you may be finding feathers as well. Or you may be seeing feather tattoos on people, randomly, but so many all of a sudden. I once in a day saw like at least 5 people with angel wing tattoos, but huge ones that I could not miss. It was crazy. Or when I needed a lot of strength, I saw lions, like on people's backpacks, on their shirts. It was noticeable. These are the signs, the synchronicities that your angels, your guides are sending you. Do not miss them. Do not discard them. It doesn't matter if nobody else believes in these signs. You don't even have to share it if you feel you're not in the right environment, where we're back with Soul Tribe. The moment you meet them, no words needed, right? They fully understand, because most likely they've been going through the same thing. Totally. Yeah, I love this, man. This is so cool. Yeah, and you're just standing there in your power, fully aware. I'm getting the sense of like healing. There's so much healing that has happened to you and for you here already. So much, like you're so healed already. It's time now to step into that power and to, you know, leave the past in the past, where it is. Sure, here and there may be something popping up, but I'm not so much getting that anymore. It's like, you worked on this, it's fine here, leave it over there. It's kind of like what I'm seeing. It's like this what are you showing me? It's this construct, you know. It's just like, much like clay or something. It's just over there and it's fine. It's, you know, it's found its place. Now let's create something else. It's just like, yes, let's take this and make something else off of this, what we have here. Like, that's feeling to ourselves, who are we without our past? Who are we really without our story? And let's create from that place and then see what's going to happen. Oh my God, how exciting. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. So, the soul tree. Soul things. Oh, Jesus, way too many. Yes. Okay, got it. Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry, I know the energy is a lot. I just can't help it. It's those Leo energies, those fiery energies. I'm all fired up. I'm in those energies. I have a really hard time containing myself. And I'm having a blast right now. I hope you are too. Oh my God, yes. Perception and willingness. Those are two interesting cards to have. Whoa. This has to do, and this is very closely tying into the Lionsgate reading, because that is, you know, anything that's perceived as dark. Like, I'm getting really dark vibes from this card here, from perception, because it is clouding everything. You know, it's like, that's a strong one. This is like, what I'm seeing is like poisoning, much like in Vaiana, if you've seen the Disney movie. Interesting how they're pointing to movies, but there is so much in the Disney movies. Crazy, like spiritually, if you've seen Vaiana, whoa, like that one is so spiritual. It's crazy. So it's much like something is poisoning something, and that's interesting because it also ties up with the message, the thoughts of the divine feminine and the rise of the divine feminine, because that's exactly what happens in Vaiana. You know, a man happens to be a man. We just don't want to, you know, limit it. I'm almost getting sick. Limited to males as the gender, but rather to, excuse me, to the internal male force, you know. And because we all have it in us, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and we all swallowed over the centuries different types of things, right? So we all have a bit of toxicity within ourselves, really, and that has been poisoning the system. And the moment the male, because the male steals the heart of Tefiti, so the heart of the feminine is being ripped out, and so she turns into this toxic monster that throws lava. And when really, the moment she remembers, oh, I had a heart, this is when everything returns. Like, and the male is putting, actually, Vaiana is putting it back. So it's a girl that is putting the heart back into Tefiti, but the male is helping to achieve this. And I find this interesting because in society, it's often, how am I going to give that example? You know, when, for example, with when a man and a woman have a baby, right? And, you know, parental leave, that's what I'm trying to get at. It was a man, most likely a white man, who set in motion at some stage that this wasn't okay, that because he wanted to stay home, right? So it was one of a white male, most likely, I'm assuming, who's kind of started to set something in motion, and it may have been various people over different areas. Oh God, how do I explain this? So it had to be, you know, oh God, how do I explain this? This is so hard because you only see a portion of what I'm trying to explain here on the video. If we had an actual conversation, I could actually make a point here. But it's kind of hard to explain, so I'm going to do the best I can, okay, with the time I have here with you. But you can let me know in the comments. I know it's sometimes hard to have these kind of discussions in the comments because you don't know my background, I don't know your background, and vice versa. Oh, you know, so back to the parental leave. You know, that was originally most likely set in place by men, you know, that women had to stay at home and take care of the kids and everything. I'm pretty sure women didn't decide on that particularly. And it is a man that is dissolving and unraveling this thing. Of course, women as well, don't get me wrong, but it's most likely men because they're still in the leading position. So at some stage, a man had to decide, oh, there's something happening there, most likely, who was in a family system where he was cool with a woman, and they were just like, yeah, this needs to change. And then they had a conversation, you know what I mean? And he came back to his boss, most likely a man, and they were trying to change something, or maybe not, maybe it took a generation or two. I hope I brought that kind of across what I mean here, but that's kind of like what is happening in Vajana. The dude steals it and then helps to bring it back, but ultimately a girl is bringing it back, so female force and female force, and then everything is starting to bloom again. So that's the perception that has been coloring everything. And then there's this willingness, exactly. Are you willing? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to return that heart? Because it's going to be a fight. And I'm not saying in the literal sense, like go out on the street and fight. That's not what I mean. It's an internal fight also. You know what I mean? So this journey, to be on this particular journey, can be a fight. You're going to have to fight to get there. You know what I mean? It's not for the weak-hearted. I don't think it's for the weak-hearted because you're going to give up way too soon within that journey. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. We all have different journeys. We all have different purposes. I'm just saying this requires a lot of courage, a lot of strength, and you got to be tested again and again, like that card said already. I feel like I need to justify myself, like what's going on. Justify and explain myself and what I'm meaning to say and bring forward, just so that I'm not misunderstood. But that has nothing to do with you. It's just me. Why is that? Yeah, of course, the answer really is because I want to be loved and accepted, right? But that can't be put on you. Interesting energies. It needs to come back to myself to find that love and acceptance within myself. And that's the willingness to look at things. Yeah, that's why I believe this is here. Yes, it's great light, but with the great light, it's also being, like I mentioned in the Lion's Gate, there are things that are being brought to the top for us to look at. So it's both. Let me see what the time is. Oh my God, we're half an hour in. Jesus, really? Yes, we are. So what are we going to do? Yeah, I know what we're going to do. We're going to pull one. Half an hour in already. Wow. Angels and Ancestors card for you. And then we're going to take this over to, thank you, yes, to the extended. Whoa, that was long, but I was so into it. So, spring, see your seeds grow. That's exactly it. That's the new moon. Yep. That's the reaping part that I was talking about in the very beginning. Spring. Oh, wait, that's in the back. I really have to get clear with myself on what I just said to you. Like, within myself, I need to really have a good look at that because that was a trigger of mine. And I want to have a look at that, matter of fact, so that I can understand myself better. Where is it? Oh, come on. Autumn, spring, we got it finally. So that took a minute. So maybe you've been waiting for your seeds to come in for such a long time and you were expecting it way before that, and here they come. Get ready. Embrace the change that is on the horizon. Allow your dreams to become reality. Spring is an exciting time because it has so much potential. Animals are coming out of hibernation, flowers are pushing through the soil, and the days are getting lighter and brighter. The spring card features a wild hare because in Celtic animal medicine, the hare brings intuition and rebirth. Hares are highly fertile beings, and so their medicine can bring dreams to life. You are ready to bring life to all your ideas, inspirations, and projects. When this card appears, you are moving into a space that allows you to really grow, expand, and create in a way you've never done before. There are opportunities for abundance, including financial growth. And if you're starting something new, prepare for a major expansion in your life and soul. When the spring card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming spring will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. Whew. Highly charged, that thing, and I'm totally getting that alignment, like from heaven to earth. Heaven and earth connecting, like within you. Interesting. That really denotes to the chakras also. Totally. All right, my friends, we'll take this over to the extended. Before we take it, there are stickers and journals. Here you go. So if you need to write in there, it's like, these are awesome, and you can get them at Redbubble if you buy two. Like, they're each $8 something, so it's really a good price for that. I also want to point out the charged jewelry. I brought in spring colors today, which is also interesting. We have the yellow and the purple here, or the lavender. You can find them over at Universal Power Jewelry over on Instagram. So all the links are basically down below if you're interested. If you're confused, just like write me an email. Say, I would like that. How can I get it? And I'll be happy to answer that for you. All right. Also, of course, we got the mugs over at, oh my God, what is it called? The Teespring. Yep, Teespring, and apparel as well. Oh yeah, I was going to show you this. Have a look before we take it over. I'm going to do my advertisement. Look, I put them on my son's thingy and on mine as well. These are the transparent stickers. I really, really love them. I'm so proud that I finally got this together. And they come in white stickers also, and in a day and night version, much like here, it's the night, and then you have the day, Universal Power Tarot, and the mugs and everything else. Knock yourselves out to support the channel and to have awesome stuff at home. All right, my friends, I really hope this reading was helpful to you, and I'll either see you over in the extended on Vimeo or Patreon, or I'll see you next time. Much love, light and shadow. Bye. Fruition, it's nothing that you acquired on the outside, although you're going to be the magnet for all of that abundance, but you are that inside already, and it's coming to the outside, and there is no stronger form of abundance. There isn't. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh my God. Wow. You may have bird friends too. Wow, this is so beautiful, because that's one that can't be taken. You know, we can lose money, we can gain money or material stuff, but this is something you can't lose. This is like the soul lesson, the coming back into yourself. Jesus, you are the abundance yourself. This is a lot about self-value too, and self-worth, and really respecting yourself, much like I said in the beginning. Like, this is true self. There's you know, there can be a struggle to gain self-respect and to gain self-love and self-worth, but when you do all the inner work, and all of a sudden it starts to shift to this incredible abundance, I mean, then you are it. There's no need for all, although you'll be attracting it like crazy, but there's no need for that on the outside anymore, because you are it.